And here we go. This class is really designed to unravel tension that typically accumulates from working on a computer for a long period of time. What we're going to do is try to first open up our hands and then our wrists and then our forearms and then the shoulders up into the neck. Essentially, opening up the end of this chain first. So as we continue to work the tension out, there's space for it to escape, is sort of the logic. So instead of working from the beginning, like kind of a toothpaste style, like squeezing it out, we're going to open it up and let it go, hopefully. That's the name of the game. So I have a couple things here that you might want to pause and grab. First is I just have a blanket folded up. That could be helpful, either to pad your knees or just to sit on. I have a block. If you don't have a block, that's fine. Bolster, you can also use a couch cushion or one of your pillows. So I'm going to invite you to sit in a kneeling position. All right, now I've got a little bit of knee stuff going on, and so for me, it's really difficult to sit on back. And so this is where my folded up blanket might come into play, or I take it and I shove it as far up into that crease as possible, and it allows me a little bit more comfort to sit. Now, if I needed a little bit more, I could even additionally use the block, or that's probably a bit too much. Actually, it's kind of nice. Putting a little bit of pressure on my feet, so I might want to put another blanket underneath. So you can see how you can play with just finding a sweet spot for sitting on your heels. Now this is great. This feels really nice. So a blanket in addition to a pillow, I could be here for a while. So not everyone can sit on their knees, so feel free to sit cross-legged. If you're sitting cross-legged, still really helpful to probably put something underneath your seat so you don't have this going on. Take something, kind of tilt yourself forward, put that pillow underneath, and then sit up, and that allows you little bit better posture. I'll talk about that more in detail in another lesson, but for now, I really want to get into this sequence. So let's start by coming onto the knees, if that's available to you, and take your time to get things set up as you need. This is also simultaneously going to do is stretch sort of the top of my foot and ankle, which is sort of a nice little bonus. I'm going to let my hands just fall into my lap here. Take my palms facing up. Allow my shoulders to relax and start to deepen my breath. And this is something we do quite often in my practice. So this is nothing new, hopefully, if you've been following along. I also like to add a little bit of that fogging sound or the ujjayi technique. Personally, that gives me something else to focus my mind on when either the sensation in my body is kind of too much, not to a point of pain, but it's just uncomfortable. And so the sound of the breath, the feeling of the breath helps to soothe that. Also, when my mind starts to wander somewhere else, that sound really helps to act as an anchor. Count how long your inhale takes, count how long your exhale takes, and for the next 3 breaths, see if you can just extend the inhales and exhales a wee bit further without bringing stress into your body, without bringing stress into the process, but instead just starting to explore your edge. So hopefully you've been able to connect with a slightly deeper rhythm And you might lose that in some of the things that we do, and that's okay. Just remember that you found it now, and you maybe need to come back to that. Okay, so we'll start with the hands, all right? And I tried to give you some points of reference here, as these are your base knuckles. I think it's important also to acknowledge that a lot of this class are things that I've learned from a teacher by the name of Brian Campbell, who's a Guardian forest yoga teacher. Forest yoga isn't you go out into the woods and practice yoga. It's the name of the woman who originated that sort of style on a forest. Brian Campbell, great teacher, great body worker, amazing guy. So want to give a shout out to him. Anyhow, base knuckles. It's where your finger meets the base, the rest of your hand, palm of your hand, right? And so I've got these four. Now, you might think that the thumb base knuckle is here, but it's actually down here by the wrist. All right, given that opposable thumb action. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with, this is my left hand, but your right hand. So you can kind of mirror me and sort of see what I'm doing. So with your right arm, extend it forward. So you're not going to hang out down here. You're not going to keep the elbow bent. You're going to extend it and keep it semi-active. Okay, now we're going to take our other hand, okay, our left hand, and we're going to wrap our fingers around our pinky finger, and we're going to put the thumb on the base knuckle. All right, so it's going to look like this. Eye of the palm, I'm going to call this the eye of the palm, is facing straight out. Arm even with the shoulder. Left hand wraps around the pinky finger, thumb on the base knuckle. Okay, deepen your breath. As you inhale, I want you to spread your pinky finger as far away from your thumb as possible, and all the fingers should follow. So real wide spread with the hand on the inhale. Now, on the exhale, and be gentle with yourself. You can overdo this. Start to pull the pinky finger back while you use your thumb to push the base knuckle slightly forward. So just a little bit of leverage there. And then as you finish your exhale, go ahead and release. And if you need to bend the elbow to sort of give yourself a little bit of break, that's fine. Immediately, as you start to inhale, reach the arm back out, this time going on to the ring finger, thumb on the base knuckle. Finish the inhale by spreading the fingers as wide apart as you possibly can. As you exhale, ease that ring finger back as you use the thumb to push the base knuckle slightly forward. Keep spreading the pinky and the thumb away from one another. Inhale, back off a little bit. Readjust to the middle finger. Keep inhaling. Finger spread. Eye of the palm reaches forward. Exhale, draw the middle finger back. Thumb pushes the base knuckle forward. Pinky and thumb spread away from one another. Hopefully you're getting the rhythm. Inhale to give yourself a quick break, reset, grabbing onto the pointer finger, the index finger. Extend the fingers, reach. Exhale, gently pull back. Thumb pushes base knuckle forward. All right, release. Now for this one, go ahead and take an extra breath. And I want you to remember that the base knuckle of the thumb is actually more where it meets the wrist. All right, so kind of coming from underneath, right? Thumb on that base knuckle. My fingers are going to come in between where my thumb and my pointer finger are to grab on. Looks like this. Let's find our breath. Again, big inhale here, spreading the fingers as wide apart as we possibly can. Staying relaxed everywhere else in the body as best we can. Exhale, pull that thumb back as your left thumb pushes the base knuckle forward. And for me, this is really the sweetest candy in the dish because I have a lot of tension in this sort of thumb area. All right. Pause for a moment and just notice the difference in your hands, if there is one. Bring some awareness there. And let's switch sides. So extending your left arm forward, right hand wraps on the pinky finger, thumb to the base knuckle. Big stretching out of the hand, eye of the palm, extending forward. Exhale, gently start to coax that pinky back as the thumb pushes the base knuckle forward. Keep spreading the fingers as you do this. Inhale, a little bend in the elbow just for a quick reset. Keep the inhale going, reach it out, spread the fingers, spread the rib cage, like take a little bit more breath in. Exhale, pull back. Again, do this slowly so you don't overdo it. Spreading the fingers, using that thumb as your leverage. Coming to the middle finger, big breath. In, take a little bit more. Exhale, gently pull the finger back. Base knuckle pushes forward with that right thumb. Moving to the pointer finger, starting to maybe feel that breath rhythm deepen to where it was when we were just sitting here preparing for class, spreading the fingers, reaching the eye of the palm. Exhale, drawing it back, maybe even dropping those shoulders down a little bit without dropping your arm. Now again, this thumb's a tricky one, so we'll sort of give you an extra beat here. But so I'm going to kind of show you, just watch. I'm going to bring this arm underneath to find that base knuckle of the thumb where it hits the wrist. My fingers are going to sneak in between the thumb and the pointer finger to grab. Here we go. Inhale, really reach that pinky away from the thumb. The thumb should already be kind of spreading with the help of your other hand. And then exhale, gently start to explore a little bit deeper action with not only your breath, but this hand as well. And release. Again, pause for a moment, just kind of take note, take inventory. And now let's move into the wrists. Okay? So I want you actually to lean forward a little bit here. So you can come off your heels, and it might feel good to kind of tuck your toes underneath behind you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've now tucked my toes underneath. So I had been like this the entire time. So now tucking my toes underneath is going to give me a little bit of a counter, and that feels kind of nice. So I'm coming into my hands and knees as if I were going to do cat and cow position, but I'm not going to do cat and cow position. What I'm going to do is we're going to stretch our wrists, and this can be kind of extreme. All right. So what I want you to do, take your left hand first. You're going to lift it up, and you are going to turn it to the left. So you're going to actually externally rotate and put the fingers, they're pointing back towards your knee. Lean your shoulders forward, put your hand flat on the ground. Okay, now your right hand, lift that up off the ground. Turn that to the right, turn that externally. Place the hand flat onto the ground. Pause here. This might be a lot already. Deepen the breath. Use that to manage what's going on. Now, if you want to, you can stay where you're at. I'm just moving to give you a better angle. You can start to lower your hips back towards your heels, and that's going to increase the stretch a little bit. If it's too much, take the shoulders forward, and that's going to give you a little relief. Oh yeah, breathe. Close your eyes here if it feels good. Try not to let any tension creep up into your jaw or your face. Now keep doing what you're doing. Again, I'm just kind of repositioning myself here for a moment. Now, find a place that you can manage. Maybe you have to back off a little bit. Maybe you can go deeper a little bit. But what I want you to do now is I want you to spread your fingers as much as you possibly can. So it might help to shift your shoulders forward to take some of that weight and pressure off. Spread your fingers some more. And then go back to your spot that's like your spot where you're like feeling something, but it's not crazy intense. Now, from here, I want you to think about pushing your fingertips actively into the ground. You're still spreading your fingers, but you're also pushing your fingertips actively into the ground. And I know this can be a lot. For many of you, this is going to be a lot of sensation. So again, go slow. Like don't go to that moment where it's like, oh, like go slow into it. And you see like, oh, okay, this is getting intense. I'm going to chill here. I'm going to back out. This is kind of like life. Like the slower you move, the more aware you are, the more you can navigate around sort of those hectic, critical moments. All right, back out a little bit, let your shoulders come forward. We're going to do one more thing. And what we're going to do is creep back into your spot, wherever that is in terms of your shoulder and hip position. Now, this time, while we spread our fingers, we're going to try to lift the fingertips up off of the ground. Now, they might not move anywhere, but you're trying to do that as actively as you possibly can. Notice the sensation here and take one long, deep, slow breath. Let your shoulders come forward. Slowly peel your hands up off the ground. Make a fist, plant, and then peel the other hand up off the ground. Slowly, fist, plant, and go ahead, sit yourself back for a moment, and let's just take a couple of circles, really slow circles. We're not trying to go fast here. It's almost like you are like mixing mud, like so really slowly working your way through some thick mud and go in both directions. Let's try something else. Okay, moments ago we had our palms facing down, the fingers reaching back towards our knees. We're still going to have the fingers reaching back towards our knees. This time we're going to do it palms up. Okay, so don't overthink this. Essentially, you're just kind of flipping it over, putting the back of your hand flat into the ground, fingers spread. Same thing with the other hand. Now you kind of have this like well, at least I do this natural kind of bulldog thing happening with my elbows out to the side. So what I want you to try to do is squeeze your arms towards straight and parallel. They might not get all the way, but that's the action that you're using. Okay, now from here, spread the fingers again, breathe deeply, reposition your knees however you need to, kind of get yourself settled in. We're going to be here for a couple of breaths. Maybe straighten those arms a little bit more if you kind of lost it, but bending the elbows out to the side might be an interesting place to explore as well. Now, what I want you to do on this next breath is I want you to try to push your fingernails into the ground as you spread your hands. And again, you can't overdo this stuff, all right? So don't push it just because like you want more sensation. Okay, be gentle with yourself, but also, make it interesting. Now this next move, we're actually going to pick the fingers up, and this is going to be way easier to do. And we're going to start to move our hands toward a fist as we continue to straighten those arms. And I can't get my hands quite there, but a lot of interesting stuff is happening. You can actually look down at your hand, and you might see that eye of the palm kind of turning into a little bit of a depression there. And then release. Same thing. Peel yourself up, fist plants, just for that support and stability. And then a couple of really slow wrist circles. And then pause for a moment here. Notice how things are feeling in the hands and the wrists. Okay. Now it's time for the forearms a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna reset myself up back into my seat, sitting into your knees. Again, if you're sitting cross-legged, that's totally fine. Just go back to that position. All right, so if you've ever used like a pitcher of iced tea or lemonade, right? You have you're holding the handle of the pitcher and you pour it. Yes, you pour it out. So we're going to be doing that motion with both of our hands. I just wanted to show it to you before we really got into it. So take your arms out to a T. Palms are facing forward, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Remember, we're doing this pouring motion, but before we do it, we're going to spread the fingers as actively as we possibly can. Now, I want you to hold your breath in at the very top, unless you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, just keep breathing deeply. Otherwise, holding your inhale in at the very top. Keep holding the inhale. Wrap your pinky finger in, wrap your ring finger in, wrap your middle finger in, your pointer finger in. Now put your thumb on top. Exhale, pour both pitchers out to the side, actively trying to stretch the top of the wrist, top of the forearm, and then release. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, shoulders relax away from the ears, fingers spread actively, holding the inhale in at the very top. Holding that breath. This time, let's take the middle finger in first. Then let's take the pointer finger. Then let's take the pinky finger, and then the ring finger, and then the thumb, and then exhale, pour the pitcher out actively. Shoulders down, and release. All right. Same type of setup, just a little bit different. Instead of the palms facing forward, we're going to have the palms facing down. And this one, it's like if, revving a motorcycle, you rev back towards you. We're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to rev the other direction. All right. So it's going to kind of look like that. Okay. So palms face down, spread the fingers wide. Once again, huge, huge, huge inhale, holding the breath at the very top. Now, holding the breath at the very top, spread your fingers again. Pinky finger wraps in, ring finger wraps in, middle finger, pointer finger, thumb. Go now, exhale, reverse rev as much as you can, stretching out the top of the wrist and getting in to other parts of the forearm. So really go actively here. One more time. Inhale, spread the fingers. If you get any cramping or anything like that, you can back out. Hold the breath. All right, let's take the ring finger first. Let's take the pointer finger. Let's take the pinky finger. Let's take the middle finger. Let's take the thumb, and then go ahead, exhale, release, and reverse rev as much as you possibly can here. Shoulders away from the ears. And then bring it on down. All right, pause. So you can see we're starting to free up things as we go. Now, before we get to the neck, we're going to get into the shoulders in a very unique way. So if you want to change your position at all, if you want to tuck your toes underneath behind you, I'm going to show you this both from the front and the side to help you sort it out. So this I like to call robot arms. So for me, I'm just tucking my toes under. That's why the lift feels a little bit higher here. This actually stretches out my arches of my feet as well. It's what you call the old 2-for-1. Anyway, what we're going to do is we are going to take this is my right arm, your left arm, so mirror me. And you are going to bend it to a 90-degree angle, okay? But it's straight out from my shoulder, okay? It's not down here. It's not way out here. It's shoulder height, straight out, all right? My palm is facing to, it'll be your left palm is facing to the right. All right, your fingers are spread. Now, you are going to take your opposite hand, all right, your opposite hand, and you are going to place it on the inside of the elbow, okay? Now, stay where you're at. Check it out from the side. What we're going to do is we're going to let this arm come forward, like we're kind of reaching it forward. Again, we're not dropping the elbow down. On our inhale, we're going to hold the inhale, so just don't do this for a second. Just watch. We are going to take the shoulder blade straight back. So it's going to look like this. That's it. It's not a big movement. Then we are going to take the shoulder down. It's called depression. We're going to depress the shoulder. That's only going to be about an inch. It's going to look like this. Okay, I'm not dropping my elbow. It's just a little shoulder drop. All right. Then we'll exhale and we'll take it forward. Now, that's the movement. What we're going to do with the opposite arm is we're going to give a little bit of pressure back and forth. All right. So here we go. Bring your left arm up, bend it to a 90 degree. Palm faces the opposite direction. Breathe. Right hand comes in the game. Places on the inside of the elbow, and you're going to keep pushing your elbow into your hand and your hand into your elbow the entire time. We're going to do this for 3 rounds. Let your elbow and shoulder come forward. Take a huge breath in, giant. Spread your fingers as much as you can. Push the hand into the elbow, push the elbow into the hand. Don't lose that. Keep that happening the entire time. Hold the breath in. We're going to take that shoulder straight back. We're going to take it down. Keep pushing hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. Now exhale, take it forward. Elbow in the hand in the elbow. Keep it going. Big breath in here. Hold the breath. Keep hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. Keep pushing. Shoulder straight back. Shoulder down. It's only about an inch. Keep pushing that hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. Exhale forward. Exhale it all out. Keep squeezing all that breath out. One last one. Stay with it. Big breath. Hold. Take it back. Take it down. Exhale forward. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing, and release. Go ahead. Swim that out a little bit. I don't know about you, but man, does stuff get heated up, right? So we're really starting to get into some things that might be stuck with this active isometric movement. Good thing is we got 2 arms. So we get to do it one more time on the other side. And if in your mind you're like, oh no, just notice that. Okay, let it go. Let's see what shows up. You have no idea what this experience is going to be. Try to learn from what happened on the first side and maybe use your breath a little bit more to support you. Here we go. So this time I'll show it to you from the side, just in case that might be helpful, which I think it will. So here we go. Opposite arm. My hand comes into the inside of the elbow, and we're going to take this forward. Okay, my fingers are spread. Here we go. Big inhale in. Take that inhale in. Hold the breath at the top. Now, again, hand pushes in the elbow, elbow pushes in the hand, holding the breath in. Keep that pressure happening back and forth. Now take the shoulder straight back. Keep holding the breath. Take it down. Elbow, keep pushing in the hand in the elbow. Exhale forward. Keep push, keep push, keep push. Good. Inhale here. Spread. Hold. Hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. Don't lose that. Take it back. Take it down. Exhale forward. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Keep hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. Last one. Big inhale. Hold. Take it back. Take it down. Exhale forward. Keep pushing that hand in the elbow, elbow in the hand. And we're out. Swim it out as you need to. All right. So I call that robot arms. I believe Brian used to call that wrapping the shoulder. So we're working that external rotation. We're working a squeeze. Really, really healthy for your shoulder girdle. Now, I've got great news. We're actually going to do it with both hands now. But when you're saying, JB, I don't have a third hand to push on any elbows. What am I going to do? You're going to use your imagination. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your imagination as if there was a beach ball in between your elbows, okay? And if you stop squeezing that beach ball, it's going to drop. So never stop squeezing the beach ball. If you squeeze the beach ball too hard, it's going to pop, all right? So you got to give it just the right amount of pressure the entire time we do this. And we'll do 3 rounds. So exhale, any expectation or any reaction, let's just come to it with an open mind. Both arms come up. So we kind of call this robot arms. Big inhale here. Spread the fingers. Pretend there's a beach ball in between your elbows. squeeze the beach ball. Now keep squeezing the beach ball. Take it a little bit forward as we set up. Keep holding the breath in. You got it. Squeeze the beach ball. Take it straight back. Take it down. Keep squeezing the beach ball. Exhale, take it forward. Squeeze, 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 squeeze that beach ball. Good. Big inhale here, holding breath at the top. Squeeze the beach ball. Spread the fingers. Take it back. Take it down. Exhale forward. Keep squeezing the beach ball. Keep squeezing the beach ball. One more. Here we go. Inhale. Longer inhale. More, 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 more. Hold. Take it straight back. Keep squeezing the beach ball. Squeeze that beach ball. Take it down. Exhale, forward, forward. Keep squeezing the beach ball all the way through the exhale. Don't give up on it early. And then release. And then shake it out. All right. Now, if you've been on your knees this entire time and you want, actually, no, let's all do that. Let's all take a cross-legged seat. If you really, really wanted to stay on your knees, hey, go ahead and do that. But I think it's time we got a little crisscross going in. I'm going to use my blanket and pillow to support so my tailbone doesn't tuck underneath. Take my shoulders forward, kind of wiggle it back. Feeling pretty good. All right. Now, what we're going to do is take both hands to the sides of our body, and then we're going to kind of tent our fingers a little bit here. So we're kind of spider our fingers. And just relax down for a moment, pausing here, noticing how you feel, temperature, mental focus, anything happening in the body. Maybe your feet just are relieved to not be on the knees anymore. All right. Now, we are going to take your left hand off the ground, okay? We're going to take that left hand back just a couple of inches. So we're on like a little bit of an angle back. Now, I'm angling back and lifting, so I can reach my fingers, but they're not going to ever hit the ground. But I can keep reaching toward that. I'm not trying to get them there, okay? I'm intentionally avoiding touching the ground so I can continue that active reach. Got it? Here we go. Sitting up tall on the crown of the head, slowly drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Just pause here for a moment. Notice where you find any sensation. If you don't get much sensation, that's fine. Hopefully you at least have it in your breath. Good. Now start to reach your fingertips actively on that angle toward the ground. Maybe starting to increase a little bit of sensation on the side of your neck. Take both shoulders away from the ears. Continue to reach the fingers. Now, maybe instead of just dropping this right ear toward the right shoulder, maybe, and you can peek up at me if you want, you can start to take your chin up toward the sky and maybe you find something interesting there. Or maybe it's dropping that chin down toward the chest. And maybe you find something interesting in all these places, and you could come back and linger here. Like after this video is over, just come back and you could spend just countless breaths here, just exploring. You could even take your chin away from your chest a little bit. I'm finding a little bit of delicious everywhere I go. Unraveling any tension. And I'm starting to feel a little tingling in my hands, and this is kind of like this flushing out as we get to our final movement here in our practice. So we've opened up that space to really pave the way for this to slide, hopefully right out of our bodies. Oh yeah, keep breathing deeply. And you might even want to relax your jaw, like you just got some Novocaine. That even might kind of feel interesting. In fact, let's take our opposite hand and find where the jaw kind of connects. And you can kind of just dig in there and give yourself a little bit of a massage. Again, be gentle here. Keep reaching the fingers away. All right, now you probably have to peek up to check out this next move. We're going to try to change the angle. So you're going to take this left arm and you're going to bend the elbow and sort of show me the back of your left hand. Now keep your elbow at shoulder height, like don't drop it down. That's really important. And as you do this, take your shoulder away from your ear, but don't let your elbow drop. So keep your elbow at shoulder height. You're just dropping your shoulder blade. And same thing, you can just start to explore, spread fingers. Just use your body's intelligence to move your head like ever so slowly as you use your breath as a little bit of a compass to explore whatever tension might be locked up. One more breath here. Now, don't just rush out of this. I want you to get out of this in a very particular way. You are going to take your right hand, place it on the right side of your head, and slowly push the head all the way up. So we're not using those muscles we just opened to lift our head. And then pause for a moment, drop your hands into your lap, and notice any difference between the two sides. All right, let's take it over to side two. So for you, it's going to be your right fingertips reaching up off the ground, angling slightly backward, reaching the fingertips toward the earth. Again, intentionally not getting there as you drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Oh man, this side feels like it was jealous of the other side. It's finally like, yes, it's my turn. Reach the fingers away actively, reach them toward the ground, like find that sweet angle, and then slowly start to shift your head. And you don't have to, like if you're like in a sweet spot, like just hang out there, breathe into it, like accentuate it, like get in there. If you want a little bit of a change of scenery, or if you're not feeling anything, absolutely start to explore. But please breathe, breathe, breathe your way through this. And again, that kind of letting go of the jaw, just totally release is nice. We're taking the opposite hand, in fact, and let's go over and like find where that jaw hinge is. It's kind of like if you find your earlobe and you just come like down and in a little bit, and then you sort of push around, you probably can find something in there. Instead of pushing, you can kind of like hook your fingers and sort of just kind of grab on and try to find something, something to grip, and you might have to kind of reposition. But again, keep reaching the right fingertips away. So one more breath here in this little massage. Release that left arm down. Now bend the right elbow. Show me the back of your right hand. Spread the fingers. Right shoulder down the back without dropping the elbow. Fingers spread. And again, sort of re-explore that head position as you stay active in your right arm. One to two more breaths here. Really make them count. Just like we came out of this the last time, left hand comes onto the left side of your head and gently support and push your head up. Drop your hands into your lap, one palm on top of the other. And almost as if your head is now like a helium balloon and your spine is this delicate string tied at the base to the floor. Allow yourself the freedom to just be right here, right now. Without the need to be anywhere else. Anything left that you need to sort of invite into the ground and sort of just process out. Almost see that in your mind's eye as you become just a little bit more free. I don't know about you, but I feel like I could sit here for at least another 10 minutes or so. And for those of you who can, please just continue to be here. Nothing more than watching, breathing. But at this point, I'm going to bid you a fond adieu. Come back to this practice, whether it's the whole thing or just little bits and pieces. It's a great break from extended computer time or driving in a car or other types of activities that cause this kind of tension in the neck, shoulder, arm, wrists, and fingers. Peace.